I think to me that's a confirmation that they did. And obviously, it's known from other reports that they supplied intelligence. So whatever the specifics are, the Biden administration is complicit in this massacre, which, as you said, left over 275 Palestinian civilians dead. And there are even reports, actually, I haven't verified this yet, but there were reports that maybe Israeli hostages were killed as well. Four were
Yeah.
rescued, but I believe the Al Qassam brigades claimed, and I haven't seen it verified, so who knows? But that is what they said, that Israeli hostages were killed in this operation.
Yep. According to the Al Qassam brigades, 3 hostages were killed in the course of this operation, including one with an American passport. And I haven't seen any independent confirmation, but they've generally told the truth about what was taking place on the ground. For example, when they released a video featuring one of the hostages who was rescued, Noah Argamani, detailing how she was attacked by Israeli airstrikes, had shrapnel in her head, and 2 of the Israeli hostages who were with her were killed in that airstrike. That has been corroborated by Argamani's testimony since being released. So I think there are more terrible details to come. But Jake Sullivan, I don't know if this was him jumping the gun. He hailed the Israeli operation, which was a straight up massacre, which included 7 bombings, helicopters firing everywhere, executions on site by special forces, as a daring operation. Today, Israeli security forces conducted a successful operation to rescue 4 hostages from the grips of Hamas in Gaza. The United States is supporting all efforts to rescue the hostage, secure the release of hostages still held by Hamas. And then this is a key line. This includes through ongoing negotiations or other means. First of all, daring operation, successful operation. In what world is the killing of close to 300 people and the wounding of 700 and the possible killing of 3 hostages in order to rescue 4 hostages a successful operation? By our friend Afshin Ratanzi on how the Nusayrat massacre unfolded. Israel used the U.S.-built humanitarian pier to sneak in a unit of Israeli soldiers and reportedly American soldiers. Now, we don't know if that part is true, but we'll see from the imagery something that is just undeniable. Soldiers boarded a humanitarian aid truck and drove to Nusayrat refugee camp. That appears to be substantiated and true. Once inside, they're discovered by Palestinians, which resulted in nonstop Israeli aerial bombardment, and the soldiers opened fire inside the central market, killing over 210 and injuring hundreds. The death toll is now over 270 and 700 wounded. An absolute bloodbath. The humanitarian pier gets exposed to be an occupation, assassination, and massacre pier. The Americans cannot be trusted. And look at this. This is that is the Israeli helicopter awaiting the arrival of the rescued hostages. And you can even see Hebrew writing on what looks like destroyed structures on the beach because of the presence of the Israeli military. And behind it, these are American Army and trucks, along with aid trucks, on the aid pier that we warned at the gray zone months ago would be used for destructive military operations and would put U.S. military personnel in harm's way. There's an Israeli soldier speaking Hebrew. So you get the point. Obviously, the U.S. is freaked out about this footage. This was the response by CENTCOM to discussion about that footage. The humanitarian pier facility, including its equipment, the operation to rescue hostages today in Gaza. An area south of the facility was used by the Israelis to safely return the hostages to Israel. Any such claim to the contrary is false. The temporary pier on the coast of Gaza was put in place for one purpose only: to help move additional, urgently needed life-saving assistance into Gaza. And this is how I responded, which is an area south of the facility was used by the Israelis. Like how far south? Like a few meters. I mean, just look how close that helicopter is. It would have been absolutely impossible for Israel to have pulled this off with the helicopter on the ground unless they were doing so in an area that had been completely secured. And this is an area that is apparently secured by U.S. mercenaries for the offloading of humanitarian aid. Combatant